Hey everybody, how's it going? So Candace has released her next video on being crazy. I'm glad she took a 2-week vacation, and didn't drop any more evidence whatsoever. Just, because obviously it wasn't important enough to tell us during that 2 weeks. It could just wait until, 2 weeks later to tell us, I guess. This seems like such a priority. I don't know. It's weird to me. But anyway, so she claims to have recorded phone calls in this and does not show any of the phone calls that she's recorded. So I'm guessing she's probably waiting for someone like me or somebody else maybe. I mean, I'm not saying she's directly referring to me whenever she calls people like us evil, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm evil because I'm asking questions too. Only she can do that. But my whole point is she recorded a phone call and proceeds to not show it at all. And I'm thinking she's going to be like, hey, these guys are going to say I don't have the phone call because I didn't show it, but here it is. For her next video, I guess. Or she could have just been like a normal person and been like, here's all the evidence in one thing that I'm going to update on. And here's everything. I know I have evidence, but no, I'm just going to save it for the next video. Or maybe a video after. I don't know. And she does that with another subject, too, that she's going to get into, which is Tyler Boyer. She's saving that for the next episode. She's already admitted that in this episode. So apparently, making money per episode is probably the priority if I had to guess. Of course, I don't know that for a fact, but it's a little weird that she's not going, here's all the info so far right here. No, she's going to keep spreading it out and waiting and sprinkling it out. Nothing burger crumbs. Now, there's a couple things she shows that are weird, and I have to acknowledge that. Of course they're weird. I don't know everything, and, it's just strange, but I don't know for sure that they're not coping. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this guy's making up a story. I don't know necessarily what's going on, neither does she, and she doesn't show enough evidence. And we'll get to that when I get to the clips. But let's get into what I'm not going to show on the video because it would take too much time. Okay, so she gives, we'll get to that. Let's see. So she claims here that she never saw the man that was taking the camera down and claims that he lied to her, and doesn't show any evidence that he has ever lied to her or anything or what's going on. Doesn't show any proof that she's even talked to him, so that's odd. Said that there were people live in Arizona, live clipping, okay, and getting clips out there as fast as possible to the internet. Totally possible, but she didn't believe that because she's never seen it before with Charlie's company. But there was a bunch of new people coming into the company to do stuff. He was upgrading and, I don't know, it's totally possible. She doesn't work for him. She didn't talk to him every day. So I don't know. Then there's a guy, we'll get to this clip coming up. There's a guy that flips on the phone, and she goes, he got it to his ear in less than a second after Charlie was hit. But we actually don't get to see his head at all, and we don't see where the phone is once he pulls it up. So he may actually just be dialing 911. We don't know. Then this guy runs away, and he starts recording and giving the news out there. Oh my God, Charlie Kirk was hit. And she's just like, oh, well, this could have happened. There's no way that he would have ran away like that, not very far, and then started uploading the internet, and we'll get to that one. So, that's coming up. But she starts off the episode by teasing Charlie he knew that TPUSA would be the end of him, physically. And implying that he knew something was going on, but then tells and shows us later, the text messages, that Charlie was actually just having dreams. So she's implying that, he thinks something weird's going on in the company. But it actually isn't that. He went on a fishing trip with her, apparently. Okay? She shows the text messages, but they're screenshots. Take them with a grain of salt, but I don't believe they're fake. I think they're real screenshots. I think they're real text messages. But it's creepy. He was like, I have dreams all the time that I'm going to get ended, at one of these events. And it's like, okay. But that's not actually proof that, he knew that it was going to be a coup or something. It still could be the official narrative. You forgot that there's an official narrative, Candace. You forgot that there is actually a plausible guy when there's a network of, trans individuals, actually, who's been going around and shooting up churches and stuff. You forgot that actually exists and that this guy actually has motive. It's interesting, right? Interesting. She also doesn't know that 55 grain coyote shot exists for 30-06. It's meant to take out coyotes. The 18 to 45 pound dog that's very small. It's meant to not go all the way through one of those, and it 30-06 shoots them. So yeah, he could have gotten that, and it's very cheap ammo. compared to the rest of the ammunition that is made for 30-06. Anyway, so let's get to the next part. Candace also has dreams that Charlie Kirk came to her saying that they betrayed her, or that they betrayed him. And she says that he actually told me more than that, but we'll get to that later. And saves it. What did she specifically say? It was, the quote was, actually, he said more than that to me, in the dream, but we are fishing here. Let's be patient. Making a fishing joke, even though she was out fishing. And I know Charlie Kirk went with her once, and he hated fishing, but now she's bringing it all around to this fishing thing. It's really weird. Calls Josh Hammer a bad guy without actually having proof, which isn't good. You shouldn't do that. You should probably have the proof first. And then calls people like me evil, of course. So she's going to war with all of us. I'm not going to war, Candace. I'm just simply doing the same thing as you. Hey, where's the proof for this? You're making these claims that they betrayed him. I want proof. And the only proof she can really give us is the fact that Charlie came to her in a dream. And she uses Charlie's dreams as proof that the dreams are real. Because he texted her. You can't make this stuff up, guys. This is actually kind of sad. I think I don't know if she's okay, to be honest. So, again, Tyler Boyer, we're not getting into that because that'll be a next episode. So, she also thought that she was going to get together with TPUSA to help solve this case. But like I said again, TPUSA could just be accepting the fact that Tyler Robinson did this, and there's a like an underground trans network of people shooting places up, as they are, as we've seen, Tennessee, Minnesota, Michigan, Minnesota, right? Yeah, Minnesota. All those places that have had this happening, there's been 20 of them this year. I don't know where you've been, but, Trantifa has been pretty active and assassinating, shooting at ICE too. So they could have just accepted that and let police investigate. Anyway, I don't know. Let's go ahead and watch some clips.
Rob McCoy just 4 days after Charlie was murdered. In front of his congregation, he spoke about Charlie's succession plan that he was somehow privy to. I don't know why, but he knew 4 days later and announced to the world.
Yeah, it's almost like Charlie couldn't have had lawyers. And you know what's really weird about those text messages of him saying that, hey, he has dreams of being assassinated? He probably, if he was telling you about them in his dreams, he probably told other people, and he probably actually may have made a plan for if something happens to me, knowing he was getting death threats too, and knowing that Trantifa was getting as active as they were, shooting at ICE, stuff like that. He knew about this stuff, so he probably actually did think ahead about this. He was a pretty smart guy. He genuinely was. It's not actually that out of the ordinary, and it's not out of the ordinary that the chairman and stuff, all the people that are a part of Charlie Kirk's company, probably, if Charlie Kirk did set it up, 4 days later actually seems like an appropriate time to get it moving on track again. And if Charlie Kirk was like, if anything ever happens to me, keep going. You know what I mean? We don't know. Can it be weird? Can it be nuanced? Yeah, it sure can be. Is it? I don't know. But this is also plausible, what I'm telling her. So, right here, what I'm telling you guys. Definitely plausible.
That Charlie indeed had a plan. Take a listen.
Everyone's worried about the leadership of TPUSA. Don't. He was wise enough at 31 to put together a plan for succession. It's very clear what they decided, and they're implementing it now.
He also has a wife. That may have told him, this is the plan. Charlie told me. Guess she forgot about Erica, but what do you know?
Amazing. Amazing. So on September 14th, we were made aware of this succession plan, and I find that to be fascinating. The people who didn't even know Charlie all around the world seem to be fighting harder for him, fighting harder for truth, and it is, in fact.
But the fact of the matter is it still could possibly be truth that Tyler Robinson did this. And if everything you're saying right here, if everything you're saying is wrong, and it turns out absolutely that the official narrative is true, right? Wouldn't they be acting this way? Why would they need to fight anymore? The government's got it handled, right? Technically. I mean, never trust the government, right? But at the end of the day, technically speaking, if everything happened is actually the truth, this is how they would be acting, right? It's not that crazy. You know, they wouldn't be looking anymore because they got the guy. And they also wouldn't be looking to go and avenge him through the underground network because, well, what are they going to do? They're not investigators. The investigators will handle that, right? So it's actually not that weird if you kind of think about it.
Thanks to people on the internet like Sam Parker, James Lee, Ian Carroll, Zeb Boykin, many others, that a video from September 10th has gone pretty viral, okay? So let's take a look at this. It's a video of course, Pastor Rob.
Father,
yeah, let's get to that.
I want to protect my son. And I thought, I got a plan for you, son. He said, Dad, that's not Charlie's plan. And you know what? I'm looking at my son who's 24 years old. Justin's the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and Mikey's the Chief of Staff. And I'm watching, the minute Charlie was shot, he called me, says, Dad, Charlie's been shot in the neck. Please call every pastor and pray.
Okay. He could be hyperbolic on that, and Candace admits that.
It's okay, son.
So that kind of doesn't help.
He has wits about him. He was just directing. He had blood all over him. And
two things I want you to remember here. You may not have caught that, but he said, I was watching. And the minute Charlie got shot, he called, and Mikey McCoy says to his dad, Charlie's been shot, pray for him. He says the minute, maybe he's being a little hyperbolic.
Now, I think the shooting took place at 12:22 Central Time, noon. And it was minutes after I saw on X. Everybody saw, right? It was pretty quick. People from the crowd uploaded the footage pretty quick because they were all filming. A lot of them were live streaming too. Remember that. We got the crowd footage pretty quickly. So yeah, I mean, for him to be like, I was watching, he could have just saw it on X. You know? Who knows?
We're going to find out. I'd certainly like to find out. But he stops and stuff. He says, I was watching. Watching what exactly? What were you watching? I wouldn't remember that.
He said that. He said he watched Charlie get shot. Okay.
It's rubbing me the wrong way. And I'm going to tell you why that's rubbing me the wrong way in a little bit. But the bigger thing is that he says Mikey had blood all over him. Except Mikey did not have blood anywhere near him because Mikey was behind the tent when Charlie got shot. And Mikey, in less than a second, does something that I find to be quite strange. He puts his phone to his ear.
She doesn't see him put his phone to his ear. I'm telling you that now. We'll see.
And he begins a conversation. So we're going to watch that clip in its entirety. Mark is going to bring it in.
Okay. I don't want to show Charlie Kirk get hit. But he's over here. Okay? He's the one with his head completely covered up. Not behind, not this guy, not this guy. Right behind, okay? Now, I'm going to fast forward just a little bit because, let's see. Okay, so it's taking place. Oh, he's over there. I want to, I don't want to show Charlie. Okay, so here we go. He gets hit. I'm going to have to show it, aren't I? I'm sorry, guys. I have to show it. It's blurred, though.
Strange.
So there is that.
He puts his phone to his ear, and he begins a conversation.
We'll just
so we're going to watch
I'm sorry,
that
guys.
clip in
Fair
its
warning,
entirety.
Okay? It's
Mark is
blurred,
going
but
to bring
fair
it in.
warning. See how his phone was under his chest right here? And he moves it right up. But the problem is you can't see his face. I don't know if it's on his ear or not. It was a very loud sound, too. He might not have put his phone to his ear. He might have put his fingers in his ears. He might have went, That's a pretty normal reaction when you're standing like this. So, actually, he might have just been covering his ears, too. And then realized, we may be getting shot at. Now, the problem is there's a circle here, and it shows it follow him. But we don't know that. He could have stopped, dialed 911 on his phone. You can actually take your phone like this and flick the screen up, and there's an emergency call button, too. So you don't actually have to dial. Now, you see shadows? Don't know where he's at. Then he appears here.
So we decided to slow this clip down, and
This
we're
is
going to
where they
watch this
keep
clip
the circle
slow
on
down
him.
so you can see that it is exactly 834 milliseconds from the time that you hear the shot. That is how long it
Okay.
takes for Mikey McCoy to put
cover
the
his
phone
ears?
to his ear. Now, why is that
Okay.
precise timing so important?
For him to cover his ears.
Because there's no dialing.
Because both hands
Mikey
go
didn't have
up.
time to dial. Okay,
Let's watch
You
the
can't
slow-mo.
dial and put your
You
phone to
can't
an ear
dial.
in
You just can't.
0.834
You can't do it
seconds.
quick
The next
enough.
time that you're going to
You
see
can't hit
Mikey
911
McCoy,
fast
as
enough.
we just showed you, is in just under 2.5
We don't have speed dial buttons. We don't have a button you could push to dial a friend.
seconds on the other side of the tent. He's on a phone call. So we can track Mikey, but let's watch the clip again
Okay,
in
let's do that.
milliseconds so you really grasp how quickly this transpires.
Okay, let's do that. Covers his ears. Can't see his head.
So when this clip was brought,
Now you see him walk? Now it's tracking, but you can't see anybody on the other side. You don't know if he stayed there. He may have ran right over here and then started dialing on his phone for all you know, maybe. Who knows? But then it shows him here, and he could have jogged in. We don't know. Could be accurate, but from this angle, you actually can't tell whatsoever. But that is 7.283 seconds before you see him again. And who knows what he had done in that time behind the tent? Who knows? I don't know. Now, maybe he did die. Maybe he's talking on the phone with the FBI immediately. Who knows specifically? Maybe he called his dad immediately. We don't know. There's too much nuance there, Candace. Unfortunately, this isn't that crazy
there we go. We're tracking that.
at this angle.
Yeah, when the clip was brought to my
So-
attention, I obviously have a file, I have a big folder of files of every angle, and I decided to track Mikey from every angle available to see that maybe we just missed it, and he did at some point put that phone down, dial a number, speed dial, hold down one. I don't know.
She's stuck on this number thing,
Maybe we
but
missed it.
I just kind of
It's
explained it
still
away
on the
pretty
phone, and
easily.
I can show you the clip of that. Take a
So-
look at this.
She shows this.
Don't worry,
He's
we'll
still
slow
on
it
the phone
down.
out here. That's not very far away from the tent whatsoever.
For you. See
But she
him-
also does find nuance. She does find him like on his phone, then he puts it like this, and then puts it back up to his ear. For all we know, maybe he was communicating with other people around. I don't know. Maybe there were people over there, or maybe he was like, "Hey, get this shot." Maybe he left his phone up so he could just be like, "Oh, okay, get this wide field shot or something." I don't know. I don't know what it could have been for. There's a million different excuses you can make for it, but I genuinely don't know. And this is too nuanced. You can't just if you don't have answers in what you're showing, then it's too open-ended. So it is what it is.
in the background with the backpack.
But again,
It's Mikey McCoy.
too many answers to
Okay.
explain what happened here.
So what are we to make of that?
Good question. Maybe he dialed 9. Maybe he hit the emergency button. I don't know. Here's another. Here's something else she's
That
gonna show.
You see Mikey's on his phone here.
Yeah.
And you're going to see he pulls it up.
Yeah.
And he starts to cover his ear again. Now, that could be unrelated. Again, we're taking a guess here. That's what made the most sense to us. Because
She says he's covering his ear too, but you actually can't even tell that. I assume he'd be covering his ear to talk on the phone. It makes sense. But again, it's hard to tell that he's exactly doing that because his face is covered.
we couldn't justify it in any other way. And I want to be
But
clear. We're not
obviously, he would be doing that. I'm just saying, claims without being able to properly see what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
here to make assumptions, okay? And we
You are here to make assumptions. You just assumed a whole lot. Anyway, there's Sarah with Charlie Kirk doing stuff. Here's the camera guy. Let's get into that.
quickly, I asked him to first and foremost simply show me the footage because that's all I wanted to do. I'm thinking again, we're all going to get the band back together and solve this murder.
Exactly.
And he got weird. He got really weird.
Because, it's not possible that it was solved that there's a guy on trial, right? Don't forget that narrative part. I'm just saying, if it's true, obviously there wouldn't be anything further to investigate per se. I'm not saying that it's not valid. I'm not saying that she's not right. I'm just simply saying, again, guys, if this narrative's right, then they don't need to get the band back together to solve anything. It's been solved.
I said, I just want to see the footage so I can debunk. I know that you don't want to put more footage out there. That's fine. But just show me the footage so I can debunk all these internet conspiracies that you were hiding something. I was not suspicious of Turning Point at all, actually, when I called. And I asked him, again, like, what's the reason? What's the reason for taking down the cameras quickly? Why hasn't the footage been released? Let me see it. And he told me that he had spoken only to Erica and the feds.
Okay, so this is the guy, and this is where she says she recorded phone calls and she doesn't play any recorded phone calls. So this is all hearsay for the most part. She's just like, well, this happened. He told me that, he couldn't send the file to me. And then he was afraid of Google hacking him, which is a weird thing, right? All this stuff would be weird. Google would hack him and he's afraid of that if he tried to send it to her over the internet. But for some reason, she doesn't show us the phone call. Why? Why are you just telling us this? You could have just played it. It's so frustrating because if it does exist, she's just saving it to make another video to make money. That's my opinion there. And if she's not saving it, then it means she doesn't actually have it. And she lied. So this isn't good no matter what, Candace. This is how you end up making so many people not trust you. I wish you would understand that. Put everything out in one video, Candace. It's not hard.
When I realized that there was no blood on Charlie. So it was the least...
I watched in the video blood come out of his neck. I watched that. I wish I had never seen it. Everyone else did too. Oh my God, my pause game is ridiculous.
Traumatizing footage of all. Why be so secretive about it? He then told me that he needed to speak with Turning Point lawyers first to see about releasing the footage. I said, okay, fine.
And if there wasn't any blood on Charlie at all, then, does that mean that Charlie is actually alive somewhere? That what you're trying to say?
I let him take a couple of days off, and then we got back on the phone, and I said, look, that's kind of a BS excuse too, because you run your own company, and the footage is owned by you. He then said, okay, yeah, I do own the footage. I just wanted, just coordinate, check.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just give us the phone call, please. Please give us the phone call. Now the next weird thing is this.
Yards away, up to a grassy knoll, to take out his phone. A couple of seconds later, he takes out his phone, and he begins recording himself. It's a selfie video. Takes a video of himself.
Okay.
So let's watch that video.
Let's see it.
They just shot Charlie.
Notice his back's up against concrete.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot
Actually,
Charlie.
probably in one of the most safe places. Other people. Oh, did all these people up here too? What about these guys? Huh? Kind of weird. I don't know why these guys would run and hide up there either. Maybe it's because it's a really smart place to, be, where probably an active shooter wouldn't be, and bullets won't be going through. I mean, where else are you going to go? You going to run out and be an open target in the open field? Probably better to hunker down and stay safe. Knowing you're on the outside and knowing that you may be able to fight if someone comes around that corner. It's not a bad position to be in. It's a really smart position to be in. So there is that. Again, not saying it's not weird. But you want to play devil's advocate, Candace, then I can too. And then he's just getting, a lot of this is silent. He's watching,
They just shot Charlie.
I think they just got Charlie. Not GOT, but I'm saying that for YouTube purposes. Hold on. Oh, I can't.
He's dead.
Okay. So she says that he's gone. And she's like, how could he have known that? He probably saw, where it hit. Might have assumed the worst. Maybe not. Maybe he was fed this information before. Maybe he was told, run and film the video and get it out there. But it makes sense to get it out there, too. See, he saw his security good on Charlie. He thought maybe I'd be in the way. Runs out to be safe, and then thought, I got to get this news out there. I don't know. It's not that crazy. At the end of the day, it's really not that crazy. So let's recap again, okay? She claims to have recorded phone call. Didn't show it. She claims that she helped to build TPUSA. It was already established before her. Gave excuses as to why the dude took the cameras down for the most part, but we don't know. We don't know the time exactly when he took the cameras down per se. And we don't know what that footage went to. We don't know why he would have taken the footage down. We don't know if FBI was like, hey, we got this whole area surrounded now. You're good. Please get us the footage so we can have it quickly. Maybe. All footage is necessary. Guy calls 911 maybe when he walks away. I don't know if he did or didn't. Dispatcher may have said, okay, get to a safe spot. Tell me everything you saw. We'll document things now because we already know about this happening for the most part. And people have already called. There could have been like 20 people calling at the same time as him. Or maybe they were like, hey, police are already there. They've radioed in that, hey, we got active fire here. They already know. So dispatchers probably may have gotten that information pretty quick. They're pretty quick at spreading information throughout their stuff. So they know to not necessarily be taking calls or to be taking statements. So anything's possible, really. Okay? I don't know for sure. It could all be weird. Candace could be right on the money with all of this. But again, this is all nuance. That's the problem that I have. And she's made some serious, serious claims that TPUSA betrayed Charlie Kirk. She's made serious claims that Donald Trump caused all this to happen. She's made serious claims that it was Egypt and that it was Israel. Okay? And yet decides that the nuance is what's good, and she'll keep sprinkling it out. Why are you sprinkling it all out, Candace? I just want all the evidence right now. Why do we have to wait? It's just, it doesn't make any sense, you know? Anyway, she's never saw the man before taking the camera down, and she claims that he lied to her without actually providing the proof. She starts off the episode by teasing Charlie, knowing TPUSA would be the end of him, implying that he knew something was going on, but then shows and tells us later the text messages that he actually just dreamed it a lot, that he was going to get taken out. So there's that, and then she uses that to say, well, my dreams must be valid. Then when Charlie Kirk came to me in my dreams and said that, that she's the only one that would fight for him, and that he was betrayed, and that he said also a lot more than that, but she'll tell us later on. Again, calls Josh Hammer the bad guy without having proof, calls people like me evil, so only she's allowed to, quote-unquote, ask questions. I can't. And she's apparently going to war with us. She's ready to go to war. It just is what it is. And, if you need any more nuance about it, let me show you, okay?
All right, you guys, taking a quick break to tell you about Riverbend Ranch. You guys know I absolutely to mistake what's happening right now or to wrongly assume my intentions here. So allow me to be very explicit, okay? I want war with all of you, okay? All of you. And there's a reason. I'm going to get to that reason in a little bit, but I want more with all of you. So write your articles, issue your statements, email the White House, reach out for comment, okay?
Okay.
Say whatever it is you want to say about me.
Uh-huh.
I want more with all of you.
Alrighty.
Because I know.
You?
I know this isn't right.
You seem to think you know.
There's no way you are going to convince me and the rest of the world.
No, that's fine.
That all
you
of
can believe
this
what you want
is
to believe,
normal.
but you can't make claims
We're not
without
just
proof.
going to keep on going and jump into a succession plan. We're going to figure out what the hell happened on September 10th first. And I'm going to tell you guys that Charlie had a vision. We'll get to that
but she doesn't.
after a few ads. All right, you guys.
We'll get to that after a few ads. Charlie had a vision. And then she actually gets into what it really was, and it was a dream. And she showed, like I said, she shows texts on screen. I'll pull them up real quick, like one of them. Where is it? I think it's like right over here, maybe. I'll just pull it up if I can see it really quickly. No, now she's getting to questions. It's somewhere over here. Maybe. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm sure she'll post them on X and whatnot. But anyway, she shows messages from Charlie Kirk saying, yeah, it's weird. I keep having these dreams that I'm going to get taken out and get assassinated, essentially. And that's it. And it's like, wow, you teased us with, like, Charlie Kirk knew TPUSA would be the end of him. As if, like, he had inside information that someone was trying to commit a coup against him or something. And then it changes over to this dream. And it's pathetic. And I hate that. I hate that you made everybody watch through your entire live stream with clickbait like that. Dangling somebody's death over it. I'm just so I'm so fed up with that. Like, she knows what she's doing there. She didn't have to market it this way. She could have given us all the evidence, and she still doesn't. So I guess I'll see next episode, and we'll see if there's any more actual physical proof. But until then, guys, please like, subscribe, and share. Go to my Discord if you want to see that. During my live streams, you guys could send me videos, and I'll react to them. So thank you all so much for watching, and I guess we'll go down this rabbit hole again together, maybe tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.